Hello my lovely readers, welcome back to Readers Retreat. I'm Victoria and today's video is going to be the anything but books tag. So the idea behind this video is to talk about stuff about me that doesn't involve books. You might be thinking, well, why are you doing that on a BookTube channel? Well, I thought it might be a bit of fun just for you guys to get to know me a little bit, especially in the first year of my channel. I feel like the more you know about me as the creator of these videos, the more we can connect. So without further ado, let's get into the questions. So first one is cartoons that you love. Well, this video could not have come round at a more perfect time, really, because I've just gotten into the old classic X-Men cartoons again. I've got Disney Plus, and well, to be honest, it started with James McAvoy. You might be thinking, what? How does that work? Well, I've watched a BBC drama recently of him and an actress basically going through the lockdowns and what it's like to live with somebody that you're basically stuck with. They were in a relationship and the relationship broke down and then the lockdown happened, so they had to basically live together when they didn't want to, and that's pretty much the premise of it. And it was brilliant, absolutely fantastic. It's called Together, it's a BBC drama, go check it out, it's brilliant. But anyway, yeah, it started with that, and I've got a bit of a crush on James McAvoy anyway, because he's just anyway, yeah, so I watched that, and then I had to watch more of him. So I basically binged the Marvel X-Men movies because I've got Disney Plus and they're pretty much all there. So I binged them. He's part of the early years, first class onwards. And yeah, and then I found the classic X-Men cartoons. I grew up with them basically, and it was early morning Saturday TV watching for me as I grew up, and I just love it. And it's got one of the best theme tunes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube it. Seriously, like, just type in classic X-Men cartoon and you'll get it. Favorite song right now, it's by Steps and it's called Heartbreak in the City, and it's one of their newest releases. If you didn't know already, then I'm a huge Steps fan. It's kind of my guilty pleasure. They're a lot cooler than they used to be though, actually, so I'm not ashamed to admit that, but I wouldn't be ashamed anyway, to be honest. But yeah, they're a lot cooler than they used to be, so it's brilliant. What could you do for hours that isn't reading? This one was a little bit tricky to decide on, actually, because I do have other hobbies besides reading. I obviously enjoy reading the most, but yeah, I think what I'll talk about here is diamond art or diamond painting. I got into it and found out about it in lockdown, and I basically got hold of my first one and loved it and basically ran with it. So I've got a massive, and I'm talking massive, collection of these pictures and stuff to now get on with, because they ended up becoming the go-to birthday present and Christmas present last year. So yeah, I've got a pretty big like mountain of these things. A lot of them have got books in them, unsurprisingly. And then there's also Harry Potter ones, again, unsurprisingly. And Disney, again, unsurprisingly, because that's me in a nutshell. Books, Harry Potter and Disney. What more do you need to know? I could sit and do that for hours, stick some ambience on or some soundtracks from my favourite films, and yeah, you lose hours of your day easily doing that. You don't notice the time passing, which is, well, it was brilliant for lockdown because all the days kind of merged into one. So I'd start sort of 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and it would be 3 o'clock in the morning before I realised what I was doing. Obviously stopping in between for obvious things, but yeah, it got pretty addictive, and it still is, to be fair. But now that life is starting to get back to normal a little bit, I've got things like work and, you know, going actually outside the front door when I have to contend with. But yeah, when I get a spare minute and I need to sort of calm my mind a little bit on the anxious days, then that's what I turn to. What do I love to do that would surprise my followers? I grew up learning sign language, British Sign Language to be more specific, BSL. I was a student at a special school growing up, and we were integrated into classes with all sorts of different disabilities, deaf, blind, physical disabilities like myself, all sorts. And we were really small classes, but I wanted to communicate properly with some of my friends, and they were deaf. So one of our favourite TAs started a club called the Saxon Hill Signers. It was Saxon Hill in Lichfield, if you're interested. Probably won't have a clue where that is, but those of you that know me will. So yeah, we were called the Saxon Hill Signers, and we used to basically pick our favourite songs, and she would adapt them into BSL for us, and then we would perform at things like the school fete and Christmas concerts and things like that, just to give us a little bit of extracurricular activity that we could really get our teeth into. BSL was recognised as a language in its own right in 1995, and I love that. Yeah, I've become quite an active member in the deaf community through Facebook and things like that, but also at uni I did deaf studies, and I came out with a level 2 in BSL from my degree. So I actually am qualified and pretty fluent in that, and although I don't actually go out into the deaf community anymore, I do still keep up with that, and it's like a lot of things. If you don't do it, you don't remember it. I like to translate my own songs and things now for myself. Like, I joined the Greatest Showman group on Facebook. There are several, but I joined one of them, and the guys there found out that I was part of the BSL groups on Facebook, and they asked me to translate the soundtrack of The Greatest Showman and basically record myself doing it. So I did about 3 of the songs, I think, from that. I'm pretty sure I did Come Alive and A Million Dreams, and then Never Enough as well. And I was working on a couple more, but then obviously life got in the way and I stopped. But I do kind of pick a few of the oldies from the school days and just kind of get the fingers moving and the, you know, the muscle memory back, if you like. It's just a really nice way to reminisce of some really happy and some really good times doing something that is actually really therapeutic for me now. So yeah, I like to translate some of my favourite music into BSL. It's actually called sign assisted singing. So because you're not translating it directly into BSL, because that would change the structure of the song. You're kind of, it's a direct translation in that you have to sign each of the words in order of the lyrics so that it makes sense and you know that it's a song and not a conversation. So it's called sign assisted because you're not changing the format of the language. If you're interested in that, do let me know down in the comments, because it's something that we can discuss and I can point you in the direction of some of the groups that I'm part of. And even if you want to see some videos about it in the future, let me know, because that would be really nice, actually. My favourite thing to learn about: language. Language and words and stuff, everything that falls under that, really. Unsurprisingly for a reader, but English was one of the subjects that I felt confident in at school, and I did pretty well at it, if I do say so myself. Yeah, it was kind of my safe place at school, was my English lessons. I lapped it all up, to be honest, not just the reading, but the writing of short stories and all of that kind of thing that you had to do. I just loved it. My love of reading helps, but it's surprising what you can learn from turning the page of a book, to be honest, and I don't think enough people do that anymore. It's all about Googling it and the internet and all that kind of thing, but we as a family have always reverted back to the old classics. The best weapons you can ever have are books, and knowledge. So, you know, if you're ever a victim of bullying and things like that, then prove them wrong with your intellect and your skill, beyond theirs, in my opinion. The best weapons you can ever have against anybody trying to put you down is knowledge. The best weapons in the world are books, in my opinion, and through that, language. Something unusual that I know how to do. It's not really unusual, but I know how to create like jewelry and stuff. That's another thing I started to do during lockdown. I just started collecting beads and stuff, and then thought, actually, do you know what, I might try and make something out of these. So then it became something that I really kind of dived into and got my teeth stuck into, to be honest. Some of the stuff that I've made is actually on my Depop shop, which is in the description down below. Bit of a plug there, sorry. So yeah, I can make things like necklaces and earrings and bracelets matching. I can create stretchy bracelets, create memory wire bracelets, all of that kind of thing. It's not unusual, but it's something that I know how to do. Something you've made in the last year. Well, that kind of falls under the same umbrella as the previous one for me. Yeah, I've made a lot of jewellery. Check it out in my Depop shop. Shameless plug-in. Most recent personal project. My YouTube channel. My bookish YouTube channel, or BookTube channel. Yeah, I started in April, and I'm absolutely loving this channel so far. It's so much fun. I knew it would be, but I've never had the confidence to do it, and this year for some reason it just felt right. So probably, to be honest, through the support of my friends that I've now told that I'm doing it, and my boyfriend, and the community of guys that I'm more involved with now. So Jade, Steph, Gavin, Maddie, Becca, you know, all those guys, and Ashleigh as well. I'll leave their links down below, as I always do. But yeah, I'm a lot more active with regards to BookTube now because of them. Basically, I do feel like I'm part of the community now, and they've become friends. So not in the sense that we hang out and stuff. Well, we do, because we hang out on sprints and stuff and Patreon live shows and whatever, but yeah, my personal project is my channel, really, and I love it. So yeah, my channel, Reader's Retreat, that's why I'm here. Something you think about when staring out of a window. My mental health, really. If I start staring out of a window, it's, apart from sometimes being a sign that I've had some sort of seizure, which is a bit depressing, because I'm epileptic. If I'm actually doing that by choice, it's usually because I need to reflect on something. How could I have done something differently, or why did I choose to do that in the first place, or things like that. Usually on my dark days, to be honest, is when I'm gazing out of windows, reflecting on things, which I did plenty of last year, as I'm sure a lot of us did. Lockdown was a bit of a challenge, but yeah, so it's usually a time to reflect if I'm staring out of a window. An odd favourite thing. Well, I'm just odd anyway, so I suppose it's not odd, or it's not to me, might be to you, but like I said before about the whole James McAvoy thing, I go through phases like that. I'll see something from one of my favourite actors, whether it be an interview or one of their films is on or one of their TV shows is on. I'm thinking of people like David Tennant and Hugh Jackman and obviously James McAvoy, but then I have to watch everything I can and everything I own done by that person. So I suppose it is a little bit odd, because it's kind of stalkerish. Well, it's not, because it's all pre-done and, you know, history. But yeah, I have to then go back through their catalogue of work and watch it all. Like, for example, I went through a huge obsession with David Tennant when he became the Doctor. I went back through Doctor Who, found out exactly how old it was and all of that kind of stuff and everything that involved, and became a proper Whovian. But then it was really David that drew me to that, so I then went back through his catalogue of work and listened and watched and lapped up everything that he'd ever done, pretty much. I went onto one of the websites on the internet, there are several, and his catalogue of work was pretty much all there, and I went through it all, and what I could buy I bought to watch and listen to. Okay, that's it. I went through that quicker than I thought I would. Just referring to my notes every time I look over here, sorry. Yeah, that's everything. So yeah, I know it's been a bit of a rambly video, as most of these book tags are. Well, this is not a book tag, is it? It's anything but books. That's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave me a comment down below, or an emoji if you like. That's a thing now. Everybody says an emoji of the video. So if you were here, leave me a flower if you don't want to comment, or give this video a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel, and all of my socials will be in the description. As always, come find me, let's be friends, let's chat, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now. There is a fly in here and it's really annoying me. You can probably hear it buzzing around. Where is it? Anyway, I'll try and ignore it. But yeah, so BSL is something that you might find interesting. There it is. Little bugger, it just flew in front of the camera. Sorry, language, stop it.